All right, this is my informative speech. I have Officer Butler, Officer Childs, Officer Taylor, Officer Cozart, Sergeant Melton, Officer Gee, and Officer Hart. All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Ruffin Chetty. I'm employed here at JPD. Today I've come to talk to you about the three components of the American criminal justice system. The criminal justice system is as old as the country itself. Actually came over from Great Britain, so it's older. It's made up of primarily three parts. And those three parts consist of police, which is you guys, criminal courts, and correctional agencies. And I'll touch on each one of those. We'll start out with police. Policing, the history of policing, it comes from Sir Robert Peel back in Britain, the days of the watchmen, the night watchmen, things like that. I can't think of the other name, but they used to, families, the prominent families would get together and watch the neighborhoods back before actual municipalities formed police departments. But as the country grew, Civil War, population growth, industrialization, they all spurred the growth of municipal police departments. Of course, the more people you have, the more people you need to govern those people. So police departments were created to keep some type of social order. Other things contributed to the growth of police, such as organized crime, the mob and mafia that kind of got the government involved. Led to government oversight of a bunch of things because the mob was basically running the show. So the government had to step in and do what they needed to do in order to curb that. Later, increase in sale, use of illicit drugs, gang crimes, all contributed to even more growth of the police department. Back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, you had the crack epidemic that really saw a boom in gang crimes and gangs getting organized to move crack throughout the neighborhood to make money. So you needed more police to control that. Today, police mainly, we do the same things that we've been doing. We enforce the laws, we investigate crimes, we apprehend offenders, we reduce and prevent crime. We do those things through things like special patrols and getting out and getting to know the community. We also maintain public order, ensure community safety, provide emergency and community service, and protect fundamental rights and freedoms of individuals. So policing is a big part of that main three group. Without the police, we'd have no foundation, nothing to stand on, nothing to get these people from the streets to the courts, to the prisons. The next part of my topic was criminal courts. Like I said, without policing, you wouldn't be able to get these offenders in court. History of the court. Pre-revolutionary courts in America followed the laws of Great Britain. Just like policing, people came here from Britain, so that's kind of what they knew. You know, you go by what you know. So they brought the laws and everything of Britain until the American Constitution was eventually mapped out in 1787. Which kind of helped shape the criminal court system and the way we did our own thing. So we're piece by piece getting away from Great Britain and doing our own thing with our own Constitution. The Constitution has two important amendments that kind of govern the criminal justice process. The Fifth Amendment and the Sixth Amendment. The Fifth Amendment everybody should be familiar with, but it guarantees the right to due process and other things for offenders. The Sixth Amendment sets forth rights related to criminal prosecutions and gives a right to a speedy and public trial. So that means we can't just lock you up and throw you somewhere. It has to be a process. You're guaranteed certain things. You're guaranteed to see a judge within a certain amount of time. Things like that. And that's what these two amendments, that's what they guarantee for offenders. Criminal courts, they're here primarily to conduct fair and impartial trials, decide criminal cases, ensure due process. Like I said, without any type of process, it'll be a waste of time because you have to have set process to get everybody through the system. They also determine guilt or innocence, and this is set up on a judge and jury trial, the jury of your peers. Sometimes like the impose sentences on the guilty. They uphold the law, require fairness throughout the justice process. They protect the rights and freedoms of anyone facing the justice system. Provide a check on exercise of power of other justice agencies, which means it's like checks and balances. You know, make sure that nobody has all the power. That's the point. So if you go from a crime, which the police get these people off the street, get them into the court system, the process through the court system. The next point of my topic is correctional agencies. Kind of give you a brief history of those. Same thing, it kind of carried over from what was the norm in Britain. During colonial times, the British penal system was used. It relied heavily on punishment and execution. Back in the day, if you did something bad, you know, it wasn't, hey, you know, you're gonna be on papers for, you know, a couple months now, you know. They kill you, they publicly whoop you, you drawn and quartered it, you get some type of punishment for your crime. Sad to say, but it needs to be like that today, because we wouldn't see half of these people that we keep seeing. During the 1800s, more states turned towards incarceration instead of punishment. So it turned towards, instead of killing this guy or cutting his hand off or whipping him out on Court Square, we're going to just incarcerate him for 5 months. Let him sit there and think about what he did. No, this didn't include any type of rehabilitation, any type of thing like that. It was just lock you up and let you sit in the hole and think about what you did. Today, the correctional system is geared more towards rehabbing offenders. I mean, this is through things such as job training, housing assistance. I mean, you can get a degree or while you're in prison. Not necessarily a degree, but you can get certificates, which is a good thing if the people get out and use it. So, of course, today are more towards rehabbing and offering second chances and not towards punishment. Let's see. The correctional agencies they carry out sentences imposed by the courts, provide safe and humane custody supervision of offenders, because back during early times, the prisons were not humane at all. If you have to use the bathroom, you go in the corner and do it. Eventually somebody will come in later on in the day and scrape it out and throw it outside. But, you sit in there all day with it. You might be jam-packed in a cell with 30, 40 other people, which overcrowding is a problem we have today. Correctional agencies also protect the community by holding offenders. Today, they rehabilitate, reform, and reintegrate convicted offenders back into the community. And they also respect the legal and human rights of the convicted. Like I said, everybody has rights, no matter what you did, how horrific your crime was you committed. You still have a right to a fair, right to due process, to be treated humanely while incarcerated. Just in closing, the justice system today is set up more. It's a check and balance system. It's individual rights versus public order. You kind of have to decide what things are you going to let go and what things are you going to enforce. And some things that make that difficult. Money. Everybody knows if you have money, you can get out of things. You can get. I mean, you may get in trouble for this, but just because your family is millionaires, you get out of it. Get out of it. I think it was a case on CNN last week or week before. Y'all familiar with DuPont, the paint people? I think they do paint. Maybe it's tires. I'm not sure. Chemicals. They do. Yeah, they do something in that field. But the guy that owns it, the CEO, he's a billionaire. His granddad or somebody started it. Anyway, long story short, his grandson raped a 6-month-old. Raped a 6-month-old. And the judge found him guilty, had all the evidence they needed, and he never went to prison. And like I said, this was 2-3 weeks ago, you can look it up. Never went to prison. The judge said he didn't believe that a man of this status, with this much money, would fare well in prison. So my question was, what about the infant? How did he do, while being raped at 6 months old? Should money matter in our system? Another thing is the culture. America is considered the melting pot. Black, Asian, white, Hispanic, whatever, we have it all. And you all know something that's right in the black community may be frowned upon in the white community, or vice versa. So who decides what is right and what is wrong? It's kind of, just because you have money, does that make your morals and values better than mine? Who decides that? So my question to you all, what will you do this day to make our justice system fair and make sure it flows smoothly and fairly and impartial, not towards just your race, but all races and all people from all walks of life? Thank you. And these are my people again. 7 people, 6 people.